These shows cater to our inner nerd, or geek if you prefer.
Grab a marker.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 current shows for nerds. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at television programs now airing that most align with nerd culture, while also touching on the quality of the shows and their broader appeal. We're excluding shows that aren't actually targeting that demographic, even if they might be about them.
Our babies will be smart and beautiful.
Number 10. Star Wars Rebels.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen.
Nothing's more synonymous with nerd culture than Star Wars, and it certainly is a great time to be a Star Wars fan.
I'll meet you at the top.
Not only have the recent movies nailed it, but this animated show may be one of the best Star Wars-related productions yet. While the Clone Wars animated series was well done, the fact that it was set during the prequels meant that it had to walk a finer line than Rebels in terms of plot lines. Set between the prequels and the original trilogy, Rebels appropriately follows a small crew of rebels in their fight against the Empire. Think Rogue One, but the characters get time to develop over several years. Plus, who doesn't love more Darth Vader?
I don't fear you.
Then you will die braver than most.
Number 9. Steven Universe.
This can't be happening! This has to be a dream!
It's a great time for cartoons in general, as Adventure Time and especially Steven Universe have helped redefine how adults view quote-unquote kid shows. Steven Universe follows the title character, who's a young boy who inherits special powers from his alien mother, and his adventures with his mother's more experienced former teammates. The series' colorful art, engaging, relatable characters, complex world, and catchy songs, among other things, have made Steven Universe a cartoon that appeals to nearly everyone.
But if it were me, I'd really want to be a giant woman, a giant woman.
One definition of nerdiness is having boundless enthusiasm for something, and this cartoon certainly inspires that.
The gems are gonna be so impressed. We captured a gem all by ourselves!
Number 8. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
The only word for that kind of flying is fancy.
It was only a matter of time before we got to a comic book show, but it may surprise you that this is the only Marvel series here. While Netflix's Marvel shows are highly acclaimed, there's a lot to be said for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too. The show follows the agents of the eponymous Strategic Homeland Intervention, Enforcement, and Logistics Division, who monitor and respond to extraordinary people and events. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. features many ties to the Marvel films, but also forges plenty of its own interesting heroes, long-reaching story arcs, and excellent villains. The show might have had a slow start, but once it gets going, you will not want it to stop. Number 7. Stranger Things.
No! That didn't come from the troglodytes, no, that came from something else.
Set in the 1980s, Stranger Things is a sci-fi horror drama show, perfect for people who grew up on 80s films like E.T. or The Goonies, both of which followed groups of kids getting into extraordinary adventures. However, while nostalgia is a great hook, Stranger Things takes a more adult approach to the material that inspired it, and not just by focusing on the grown-up characters too.
Is that real? Sorry, I've just never seen a kid with a tattoo before.
The show features strong character development from excellent performers, haunting atmosphere any horror movie would be jealous of, and direction easily on par with that of today's cinematic presentations. Whether you're an 80s kid or someone who enjoys the genres it effortlessly blends together, Stranger Things is definitely worth a look.
Friends don't lie.
Number 6. The Flash.
My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive.
DC movies may be struggling right now, but DC shows are killing it. And The Flash is arguably the best. Unlike a lot of superhero shows, it doesn't take itself too seriously and manages to be a ton of fun, while also telling emotionally impactful stories about the Scarlet Speedster.
Why train me? Why help me save so many people?
While there are plenty of complex, nerdy elements like time travel and alternate universes, they're balanced by a strong cast, great humor, fittingly fast-paced action, and one of the best musical scores you'll ever hear on television. If you're looking for a superhero show that'll give you hope, make you cry, and make you laugh, this is one you should try to catch, if you can. Number 5. Supernatural. This long-running show follows brother Sam and Dean Winchester as they travel and battle supernatural forces, including practically every mythological or fantasy being that humans have ever invented or believed in. While some have accused Supernatural of spinning its wheels from a narrative standpoint for several years, the depth of material the creators have mined is impressive. And the strongly characterized core cast remains entertaining to watch year after year.
All right, well, let's gear up. It's wabbit season. I don't think you pronounced that correctly.
In addition, the show's framing of religious concepts in modern-day settings is thought-provoking, and its theme of familial bonds is relatable, even if its execution often verges on codependency. All in all, Supernatural is a road trip with enough highs to be worth the drive.
Oh, ain't he a little angel?
Number 4. Rick and Morty.
Wubba-lubba-dub-dubs! Yeah!
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub. Cartoons for grown-ups have been on the rise in the early 21st century, and Rick and Morty is one of the nerdiest. Rick is a genius scientist and full-time drunk who drags his painfully awkward grandson Morty on bizarre and often mentally scarring misadventures.
Run around, Morty. We're gonna do all kinds of wonderful things, Morty. Just you and me, Morty. The outside world is our enemy, Morty. We're the only friends we've got, Morty.
The pair, along with the rest of their family, frequently finds themselves involved in familiar sci-fi settings with unique or strange twists. The show's patented blend of dark and bizarre humor and imagery, brought to life by impressive animation, has made it a surprise hit in recent years.
Rick, portal, hurry!
Number 3. Sherlock.
Anderson, don't talk out loud. You lower the IQ of the whole street.
A modern update of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's classic stories. Sherlock sees the detective and his erstwhile companion Dr. John Watson solving crimes in the 21st century in episodes that have cinematic lengths and production values.
I was just playing the game.
I know. And this is just losing.
The show delves into the mentality of its heroes in a way few Holmes adaptations have, with Sherlock's difficulties relating to people and his friendship with John being prominent features of many stories. Sherlock also manages to incorporate action and comedy into the traditional Holmesian mysteries.
Bloody psychopath.
High-functioning sociopath. With your number.
With its different spin on the characters, sleek direction, and clever scripts, this adaptation is anything but elementary.
Yeah, relax, this is all for a case.
Number 2. Game of Thrones.
He's good. Very good.
If you had told us in the 90s that the world would be obsessed with a TV series based on intricately detailed fantasy novels, we wouldn't have believed you. But here we are. In case you've been living north of the wall, Game of Thrones is a fantasy, action, political thriller drama about various factions' power struggles over the throne of Westeros, and dealing with threats from within and without.
They're gonna let them pass the wall even if you're not there.
You have my word.
Chock full of three-dimensional characters, amazing battles, a dozen ongoing plot lines, and probably more lore than the appendices of The Lord of the Rings. Game of Thrones is the show that helped prove that things once considered the sole province of nerds can be really appealing to everyone.
My reign has just begun.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1. Doctor Who.
It's bigger on the inside.
Is it? I noticed.
A British sci-fi show about a mysterious face-changing alien who travels through time and space in a police box that's bigger on the inside. This may be the nerdiest thing we've ever encountered. And we're glad we have.
I hope you're as in good condition when you're as old as she is.
The thing about Doctor Who is that if you don't like the current Doctor, you can travel back to the past and find one you do. At 50 years and counting, there's always more of it to discover, not to mention the spin-offs. Over its long history, the show has done stories in nearly every genre, from horror to action to comedy. Just like the Doctor's own adventures, the viewer's enjoyment of them is theoretically endless.
All of time and space, everything that ever happened or ever will. Where do you want to start?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.